Welcome to version 3.0 of my Reaper Pro Tools configuration, where I transformed Reaper into Pro Tools so you can migrate easily without having to learn anything new, plus all the benefits of Reaper that you can't do in Pro Tools. If this is the first video you're seeing, I'll link a playlist below to see all the previous changes that I made, and also in the description I'll have a download link to download my configuration file, and on that GitHub page there are instructions. There's also an instructional video. I encourage you to watch it to set it up properly. The configuration file got even smaller. It's now less than 200 kilobytes. I'm really proud of that. First and biggest change I would say is that I modified the theme. So you can actually go to options right now and themes and open the theme adjuster, and you can modify my theme with the theme adjuster. Because with the different Reaper updates over time, this broke. With the previous version of the theme, you couldn't open the theme adjuster. It would not work. It would give you an error. So I actually modified a few things in the RT configuration file. This was a different version number. Here at the end, there's a version number. I changed these numbers so I could actually open the theme adjuster. After that, I also modified some fonts because Reaper changed to a different font to make things consistent between Windows and macOS and Linux. So I brought these fonts over from the default theme. So there's this thing called InfoBlock in 27 different places right here. I added it in this RT configuration file so that when you open the theme adjuster, you would not get any errors and everything would work correctly. Another thing that I changed in the preferences, general, right here, you have a new option called Prevent OS Screensaver Screen Blanking when audio is active or when rendering. I turned this on. Basically, it's telling the computer don't sleep and don't turn off the screen. Sometimes I need to render really long things and I would leave the computer at the studio to render all night. I would have things queued up. So I would very much like the computer to stay on and not accidentally sleep and stop the render. So if there's audio going through the system playing back or you are rendering, the computer will stay on and the screen will stay on. I also added my headphones correction EQ to the GitHub page. Right here I have a folder called presets and I removed it from the configuration file because maybe you don't want it. And now comes the fun stuff that actually make my work so much faster and save me so much time in the studio. I added these shortcuts very recently. So normally you would have markers like this. And while I'm recording, I would put some red markers where I need to make some cuts or there's a mistake or something. And the episodes are 30 minutes long. So I will not listen to the episode again just to search where the thing is. That's why I put the red markers, but that's not enough because in a really long session, I would come here like this and cut at the red marker and then hold Alt and click on it to remove it and then go to the next marker and do this. And hold Alt and move the mouse and click on it to remove it. Although it's much faster than not having markers, there's still a lot of back and forth with the mouse. And everything that you can do with the keyboard will always be way faster than you can do with the mouse. I have previously assigned the square brackets on the right side of the keyboard to jump to previous or next marker. And the X button is to cut the audio, but it's on the left side. So I would cut the audio, move my hand over to the other side, jump to next marker, select with the mouse, cut the audio. There's a lot of hand movement and I want to minimize that. For the next marker, I have kept the square bracket because I do use it. But when I'm editing, I assigned it to Alt X or Option X on Mac because I'm already cutting with X. So I'm doing this, hitting X to cut. My finger is already there. I would just hold the Alt and click X again. And now I'm jumping to the next marker and I can do this, X, jump to the next marker, and Alt Z jumps to the previous marker. So left and right square brackets jump to previous and next markers, and also Alt X and Alt Z do the same thing. Now there's still the part of after deleting, I want to remove the marker. So I would bring the mouse over, hold Alt, and then click on it, which is still slow. So fortunately, there is an action right here called delete marker near cursor. And if I run this action, it will delete the marker that is close to the cursor. You see right here, I'll put the cursor right here. Even if it's not on it, if it's just close to it, it will delete it. So I assigned it to Alt and the Enter on the numeric keypad. So here's my workflow. Alt X, jump to the marker, select X to cut. My hand is in the same place, hold Alt and the Enter of the numeric keypad. I got rid of the marker, Alt X, next, cut, Alt Enter, Alt X, select, X, Alt Enter, Alt X. Because the mouse is right here in this hand and the other hand is on the other side, I'm doing the Alt and the X with this hand, and the Enter of the numeric keypad is close to this hand. So I don't even have to remove my hand from the mouse to click something on the keyboard. I can, while holding the mouse, just move my thumb and hit the Enter key on the numeric keypad. And that is so much faster. I go through edits really quickly. It's such a time saver. And also something else, because I have assigned Alt X and Alt Z to be like the square brackets. If you've used my configuration previously, you would know that if I hold Shift while going to the next marker, I can select, and same thing to the previous marker. So similarly, if I hold Shift while I'm doing Alt X, I can select, and Alt Z I can select while holding Shift, and it creates this razor edit selection. So these are all the changes for version 3.0 of my Reaper configuration. Click on the first link in the description below. It will take you to this GitHub page, and there's instructions right here. The configuration files are right here. You can go in and download the latest configuration file. And this is a video. Click on it, because there's some things that you may need to tweak if you're using Mac OS versus Windows or Linux. If you're actively using my configuration, just type number 1 in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, click on the video on screen right now, and I'll see you there.